Hey everyone, happy Friday. We made it, TGIF. Today I'm really excited to chat with Jamie Lopez, co founder and CTO at Metaverse. Everyone's heard of the Metaverse, but who is Metaverse, the Enterprise Metaverse? Jamie, how are you?
Hi, how are you? And hi, everyone. Very nice to be here today on a Friday afternoon. Yeah, very excited about
Very
what's.
excited to chat with you. And maybe before we dive in, we're talking about something that lives in three dimensions, and it's probably easier to show versus tell. So let's watch a short video, and then we'll come back with our discussion.
Perfect.
Welcome to the Metaverse and to the future of your enterprise. Delivered, deployed, and managed by Metaverse. With Metaverse, accessibility is seamless and global. No special equipment, no extra software. All you need is a web browser and a computer, phone, or tablet to access your Metaverse through single sign-on, with enterprise-grade security, access control, and admin functionality. Decide who gets in and when. Set their permissions, run your events, and manage your world. Let's start the journey. Log in and pick an avatar. Avatars can be custom branded robots, or they can be stylized by each user thanks to our new partnership with Ready Player Me. Once you've entered your Metaverse, the first thing you'll notice is the audio. This is not a Zoom call. Instead, Metaverse utilizes 3D spatial audio from our partners at Dolby, which means the closer you are to other avatars, the louder they'll be, just like in the real world. This allows people to mingle in different groups within the same space without the confusion of a regular audio call. To enhance the experience even further, you can turn on your webcam and chat face-to-face with high resolution and low latency. This is our demo world, which shows off just a few common use cases. There are conference and breakout rooms where your team can meet, give presentations, brainstorm, and share ideas with all the same tools you're used to using in the real world. This includes a built-in video streaming and screen sharing tools. These spaces can be password protected and access controlled. The auditorium spaces are perfect for conferences and large events of up to 2,000 users, split across multiple instances. Harnessing the power and beauty made possible by Unreal 5, Metaverse can also provide dynamic showrooms, allowing users to customize and interact with products and models in real time. In the admin panel, data from end-user interactions and preferences can be tracked and the environment heat mapped, giving your marketing team an unprecedented data set that can be used to target specific clients, drive conversions, and track ROI. Soon, you'll be able to export this to popular CRM tools. The data and analytics generated in your world is your data, not ours. We never access or resell your client's data, protecting both your brand integrity and your end user security and privacy. Working on a tight deadline? You can upload your own 3D models to the world with just a couple clicks. Now, deploying and managing your own walled garden metaverse is as easy as updating a website. Other admin tools let you set up the world according to your needs. You can set speaking privileges, set access controls, and customize banners and branding along with a number of other options. From captivating events to flagship showrooms, Metaverse delivers a seamless Metaverse as a Service experience to launch your enterprise into the next generation of engagement. What will your Metaverse look like?
Well, that looked amazing, Jamie. I think that video really says it all. But take us back a little bit. Tell us about yourself, your background, and your mission in creating the enterprise metaverse.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Mhm.
My background is in physics. I'm a physics major, and then I did a master's degree in electrical engineering. And for things of life, I end up working in the entertainment industry for so many years, doing special effects for live shows and concerts and
Oh wow.
things like that. So I basically everything that you see on the back screens that they create the immersive experience for the audiences. That's what I was doing up to COVID. Then when COVID hit, no more of that in the real world. And my partner and I, we decided to pivot. Our business partner and said, okay, what can we do that is not depending on large crowds? And we were already using the Unreal Engine for a lot of the visual effects that we were using in the world. And we did the natural progression of, okay, what if we create this virtual world where people can gather together and have an experience sort of similar? And we end up creating Metaverse. it took off just before before actually Facebook became Meta. We were already in the process of creating this space. We were not calling it metaverse or anything like that, but we knew it was going to be a virtual space where people can join in. We were calling it a synthetic experience, so it was like synthesizing reality. And the buzz started, and here we are, 3 years later. And I don't think I'm coming back to live shows anymore. I am happy in the digital world. I think it's more comfortable. I don't have to travel as much, less stress, and I think is the future. I truly believe, I have the conviction that the path that we are going is the path of the future. It's going to bring a lot of good things for humanity as well, because it's going to allow other things that today we can't do. The metaverse doesn't exist yet. I don't believe that. I think we are in the process of building this metaverse, and we are in the road on that journey, and sometime in the future it's going to be a reality. And when it is here, there is going to be a lot of improvements for the quality of life of humanity.
Yeah, that's such a great mission, and I love it because it even in 2D on a screen,
Yeah,
it looks beautiful, which means I think you're hardware agnostic. You can run it on your PC. You don't
correct.
have to wear glasses, goggles, or a
Yes.
VR headset necessarily. But of course, that leads into the big Apple announcement
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks ago. That must have been quite a blockbuster event for you and the team
Oh,
personally.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think everybody in the tech world was expecting this for years now, because it's been around like here. And the thing with Apple products is that every time that they come up with something like this, like a game changer, it's definitely a game changer. You know that they when they bring this to the market, it's something that is being well thought, not only from the engineering point of view, but also from the business point of view. So they don't never come along and isolated in a silo of the development, but immediately you see the potential, because they are already partnering up with Disney, and they are already creating this ecosystem. And whatever you were doing in your portable devices or your computers is already, you can deploy this. So there is no friction in terms of user interface and things like that. So it's quite interesting. It also, I think, one of the things that caught my attention a lot from the announcement was that they distance themselves from the metaverse. They never even mentioned the word metaverse in one single part of the presentation. It was always spatial computing. And someone asked me the other day, what is the difference between spatial computing and metaverse? And I was saying, you can have a spatial computing without metaverse, but you cannot have metaverse without the spatial computing. So in some way, they are building the foundation for the metaverse. They don't even need to call it metaverse, and I think they know why, because the metaverse is not here yet, but spatial computing is. So they are making sure that whoever is going to be using these goggles is for that part. It's that replacement of the computer, and it's going to use spatial computing.
Well, it's
So
so
it-
exciting,
yeah,
particularly given its opportunity in the enterprise, and you're squarely focused on the enterprise. Of course, the big barrier seems to be the price point. This is a very expensive device. However, in the enterprise, $3,000, $4,000 is not really that expensive when you think about a
absolutely.
large Apple display you might have on your work, large workstation. I mean, these are costs that are well in line. So that must also be an opportunity for you to ride on top of that wave of enterprise adoption.
I think so. Nowadays, I mean, the thing is that, for instance, if you look at the HoloLens, it's around that same price point. But this is probably better than the HoloLens. Or if you look at the Epson Moverius, the 350 VTs, they are around that same price point as well. So I think that's the market, the entry level, that would be the low hanging fruit for them. It says, okay, yeah, enterprise, this is the type of device that we can put in that market and compete against these other guys. It's a small, tiny market. It's not a huge market, but the target that they have is 900,000 devices in the first year. I think it's very easy to achieve in that niche market, uh, because in that market, I think this is a very compelling product. If I look at HoloLens, for instance, and I compare it to the Apple reality, I would say that probably the Apple reality blows the other one out of the water in every single aspect. So I think they definitely are onto something there. I wish them success, because their success is all of our success, because everybody that is in the spatial computing realm is going to be benefit from their success. So definitely it's something that we're looking after. I would buy the first one that comes out of the market.
Oh yeah, I'll be in line as well, and hopefully it's a business expense so I can write it off. But we shall
Oh,
see.
absolutely.
And as given your background in entertainment, what did you make of Disney's collaboration with Apple
It's
at
important.
the announcement on the virtual app? And who's next in that kind of ecosystem? Do you think?
Yeah, I think it's super important what they did there, because that that brings a level of functionality. One of the biggest things that we always have with these gizmos, right? Like I call them gizmos, these gadgets. When you have the Oculus, and I have them all. I have the Oculus One, Oculus Rift. I have the Vive. I have the Vario. All of them. The problem is that you get them, right, and then the only thing that you can play with them is some sort of games. There is not really a ton of games that you can actually play, and in real life, like, you cannot do too much with them. And you look dorky too, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna put this thing. Am I gonna be using an Oculus Quest in an airplane, and everybody's gonna look at me like a nerd, just wearing an Oculus Quest, and I don't see anything, and I don't know if the flight attendant is asking me for something. So it's difficult, and also there is not really much that I can do with the Oculus Quest. Just play a game or something, and like I don't remember the name, Sword Ninja or something like that. But with this device, with the connection with Disney, there is so much you can do with entertainment. So there is a whole universe of entertainment that it will keep you busy for a while, until the new generation of new applications and new stuff that is going to start popping up in the app store. So I think they were very smart. They did the connection with Disney. They are going to probably roll it out with a lot of different things with the Disney universe. And by the time that you're already consuming that, there's going to be a new wave of new applications coming down as well. So I think it was very, very smart.
No, I loved the announcement, and I'm super excited. Kara Swisher, one of my favorite curmudgeon tech journalists, even she said she tried it, loved it, and
Yeah.
she's a notorious skeptic and has hated all the previous, headsets that have been out there for various different reasons. So she said she'll be first in line to buy it as well. Tell me about the metaverse and business. I love on your YouTube channel, you have very practical examples of use cases, trying or shopping for automobiles, or
Exactly.
visiting, leasing an apartment, or viewing a house. I mean, these are real world ways to transact in the metaverse with Metaverse. What else do you see in terms of business opportunities?
That's so the metaverse is it's going to take time. I mean, I always like to do analogies and look at the past, right? Like, imagine when e-commerce started back in the late 90s, right? If somebody comes to you and say, hey, you're going to use your credit card, like, right, left, and center on a website, and you're going to be giving your...
No way. No one wanted to give up their credit card.
No,
right?
Nobody, right? Like, no, you wouldn't even give the numbers. You wouldn't even fill out a form in a because everybody was scared of doing it. Nowadays, I mean, we all use it. I mean, I don't even buy my clothes anymore on a store. I buy them through Amazon or through the store directly on their online site. And I was talking the other day with a friend of mine that he's been in the tech industry for so many decades, and He was telling me when I started doing websites with e-commerce, I had to call my customers and say, hey, please check your website. There is an order there. What do you mean? Yeah, you have orders. I can see them because I am managing your website. You have orders pending on your website. Oh, but I don't use that. I mean, who's gonna now? I think that's the bloodstream for any business right now is the website. I mean, if you have a business and you want to exist in this world, you need a website. So I think it's gonna get to that point in the metaverse. Right now, nobody cares too much. In the enterprise, we see the need because it's a very easy way to present a use case for them because you can really show them the value. If I have an airplane, for instance, that it's going to be built in the next 3 years, so it's in pre-order stage. You don't have still the FAA certifications or anything, but you want to still be able to start capturing interest from potential buyers or maybe a current customer that has an old version of that aircraft, and you know that this guy is going to renew it, so you can start enticing them. This space, the metaverse, is a perfect space to bring them in, show them the new plane, being able to walk with them, talk to them, even look at their body language because you can see their webcams and you can see their attitude or their how they're talking, and it will help narrow down the sales funnel as well. So you know that that person is interested. Okay, we can continue that conversation later. On that realm, it's very easy for us to make a case for a potential customer because it will cost them tens of thousands of dollars to bring the customer to the closest location where they have the plane or bring the plane to them. Let's say even in Asia, in China, let's person wants to buy a plane. They need to bring the plane to them. It's going to cost them easily $200,000 between fuel, airports, charges, pilots. The pilots need to stay at least 5 days over there for COVID restrictions, so they need to go into quarantine. By the time everything is all said and done, they probably are already in the $300,000 bill. And the customer might go in with their family, see the plane, and say, no, it's too small for us. I don't want it. So, and you already spend the money. So with this, you are doing that first step before jumping into the next step. I'm not saying that they can buy the plane right away from the metaverse, but you can filter the sales funnel.
Yeah, and these are complex multi-month sales, so
Correct.
it really can aid in the process. I see the value right away. And one area VR has had a lot of traction already is in training and education. And you think Metaverse will only take that to the next level, I imagine.
Yes, we are looking into that very closely. We have done some training already for PepsiCo in Latin America, and we're already looking into doing training and simulation for them for other areas. We're specifically using this showcase for the sales and the distribution teams, so they know how to go and replenish inventory on point of sale. So they know how to take the old merchandise and refresh it with the new one, and put the old the latest expiry date at the end, and things like that. You know, working with planograms, protocols of security protocols when they are entering the van, exiting the van, getting the cases, all that stuff. That's what we're doing with them. It seems trivial, but it's a big save for them as well, because that training will take in real life 6 to 7 hours, and it will be a supervisor with that person going around stores everywhere, while with this in 45 minutes they sit down, they do the training either on VR or on a laptop, and they can just go through the process, get a score, and if they pass the test, they get a report, and then they can go into the field. So that's another good example. I think there is a huge potential there.
Yeah, wonderful. And with today's work environment and in challenges in hiring and retention, you need to train quickly and you need to have, instant on-demand training. And then what a great idea for that. So tell us, this has been a multi-year journey. Where is the platform now? I mean, it looks great.
Mhm.
It's looks like one of the best video games you can play, which is amazing. But what's next, and where are you in your rollout?
So the vision that I have, it's a little bit different of our competitors. I've been, in the last few months, I've been looking at TVs, for instance. When the TV set appeared in the history of humanity, everybody was gathered around the TV. It was like the center point of the household.
Yeah, you had to get up to change the channel too. You didn't even have a remote
Exactly.
control.
Well, our children now were
Yes, that was their
our
job. That was
remote
my job,
control.
rather.
Our remote control. We don't need that anymore. But smart TVs. And by the way, in the announcement of Apple, among the things that they announced was the tvOS improvements to be able to run conference and applications such as the one that we are using on smart TVs.
And
So now
that was intriguing. I saw that. I thought, wow, why am I not doing that? Sitting in the living room, on the couch, in the basement, what have
that's
you?
correct. In my
And it would be
opinion,
so much
that's
more
where it's
comfortable.
at. And that's where it's gonna be. For me, that's where it's at. Not too much into the headset itself, because if you're in a space like Metaverse and you want to share it with your family, you want to have them in the comfort of a couch, looking at big screen. The screens are going to be larger every day. They're going to be thinner. They're going to be easier to apply in different walls, different types of mediums on transparent screens and so on. So imagine if you can have that immersive experience just projected into whatever smart TV or smart device is going to be there, and you can share it with your family. And then through computer vision, we already know how to identify the different people through biometrics. And then the voice, we can track the voice, we can track the face, and then immediately that generates an entity inside Metaverse, and that's your avatar. So you can have multiple avatars joining in at the same time from the same device, and then the experience could be completely different for each one of them.
Wow.
That's how I see it in the future. I think that's going to be more enjoyable than you going into a solo experience when you just wear this headset and even that you are not completely isolated because you have cameras, everybody else is out, or unless you have multiple devices. But again, when I look at things like, for instance, the 3D TVs, that they have these glasses, the 3D glasses, that was a thing that lasted for a couple of years. And the reason was because nobody wants to wear glasses to watch TV, right? So I think if we can get our metaverse running on TVs, on smart TVs, and we can bring the family together, like kids going to school in metaverse, or the mom of the house checking out the latest car in the dealership on a virtual dealership from the couch and talking to that, and that trying to do the sell to the mom to make sure that she is buying in on the car that he wants to buy.
Mhm.
That's what I think is going to be up in the next few years. Maybe
And
in the
face it,
future.
right? Plain old iPads and iPhones, and I mean, you could still participate in a meaningful way on a device like that as well. They're not left
Correct.
out, which I
Exactly.
think is not the case for many of these fancy VR applications. Kind of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the reality it's taking us a bit closer to that beautiful uh, dream of having a nice VR device. But even imagine that even the VR device would be something like this.
Mm.
Even some people will be feel bothered by using it, right? Like, why do I have to wear a pair of glasses? I don't like glasses. I wear them because I'm blind, but I don't know if I will wear them for just for fun, I would say. But it's interesting. I think we are in a very exciting time, and the other counterpart of all this is AI, because AI will potentialize whatever we're doing 10 times more. That for me, I think is going to be the
And the
revolution.
power is in the hands of developers, as Apple has shown with its ecosystem.
Yeah.
When will you have access to some of the tools and start building on the Apple Pro Vision and prototyping? I imagine that's going to happen in the next few months.
Hmm. It's very interesting. I have some pictures in the back. They look weird.
Okay.
They look weird. They are drawings from my son. He's 3 years old, and we are teaching a model, an AI model, to interpret the drawings.
Lovely.
So, because this is one of the frustrating things for parents, right? Like, why your kid comes to the drawing and show you the drawing. It's like, what? I mean, I don't want to say what the hell is this, but I feel compelled to say what the hell is this. And he always have these weird answers, like that thing on the top is supposed to be a ladybug, baby shark ladybug. So it's a combination of the two. I don't know why, but that's what he's thinking. So we're trying to find if there is a way to make patterns of all this and try to understand the mind of children as well through AI. And that's something that we're working on a side project, because we're bringing also AI into Metaverse, and at some point, everything that you do is going to be through AI. You can give orders to the AI to dress up your world, create generative worlds and things like that.
Fantastic. Well, so much opportunity. You sound like you're having a blast. What are you looking forward to over the next couple months? We're heading into summer. I imagine your team's hard at work, but any travel, anything coming up?
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to be working here in the summer, cleaning my
Life of an
swimming
entrepreneur.
pool.
Yes.
Yes.
Never ends. Well, thank you so much for joining. Thanks for sharing your vision, pun intended. And good luck with the Metaverse. Can't wait to try it myself in Provision. So
Absolutely.
thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend. Happy
It's been a
Friday.
pleasure. And thank you,
Likewise.
everyone, as well.